Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Jobs lost.
You know, this announcement comes as a complete surprise.
The Cap paper mill will be shutting down in Kapuskasing. Plus, financial support is on the way for Algoma Steel.
We need Algoma Steel to survive and thrive.
The $500 million announcement made in Sault Ste. Marie. And bringing Indigenous voices to classrooms across Canada.
It's tradition to honor our ancestors and the people that came before us.
More about the program and the Northern Ontario artists behind it all.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Ian is off. Cap Paper announced today it will begin idling operations in Kapuskasing, a move that impacts hundreds of employees and thousands of related forestry jobs in the region. Executives have been working toward federal loans through the Strategic Response Fund and say while those discussions were positive, the timing doesn't seem to be aligning.
For them and their families today, it's not been a good day.
In a news release, Cap Paper Mill announced it would begin winding down operations. The mayor of Kapuskasing says the news comes as a surprise.
We received a letter from Melanie Jolie on Friday indicating that they welcome participation in discussions around the facility in Kapuskasing and working towards a resolution to the issues that exist within the facility. And so, you know, this announcement comes as a complete surprise. I certainly won't give up until they'll literally have to dig a hole and bury me in it. But I'm going to work as hard as I can to ensure that we come to a resolution.
In a statement today, officials with the paper mill say, "We've done everything in our power to keep the mill operating," adding, "Our employees are the best in the north and our priority now is supporting them with dignity and clarity." Phenom described the paper mill as an anchor for the region's economy, saying, "Without urgent and coordinated intervention from both levels of government, we risk losing hundreds of jobs, destabilizing communities, and undermining Ontario's forestry sector." The provincial government also reacting today, with some calling on Premier Doug Ford to take action.
My colleague here, Guy Bourgoin, was alerting us to what's happening there this morning. That's, I think, 300 more families that are going to possibly lose their jobs and their life savings. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. But again, we have been very clear with the government. Where are you? Where is your plan for forestry?
The province had provided more than $50 million in financial support, a statement saying in part, "We have continuously pushed the federal government to come to the table as an equal partner, standing up for Canadian forestry jobs," and adding they are deeply disappointed that the federal government has failed to join us in providing the immediate support required. Plord, meanwhile, says he feels confident a resolution will be found.
We're going to stand up and we're going to make sure that our voices are heard and that people come to the table and that we have a serious discussion about how we can make good of this really terrible situation.
And CTV News did reach out to the federal government for a response, but we have not yet heard back. Meanwhile, the largest employer in Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma Steel, is getting $500 million from the federal and the provincial governments. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has the details.
We need Algoma Steel to survive and thrive.
Ottawa is contributing $400 million, with the Ontario government adding $100 million for a critical loan to help Algoma Steel weather the storm from American tariffs. The significant price tag means that the steelmaker will remain viable, even with the door closed to an American market that previously made up the majority of its business.
We see a future for Algoma being a bedrock of the Canadian steel industry, and we see that future even if the 50% tariff remains as a permanent or long-term feature of the trading relationship.
With Algoma being the country's only Canadian-owned steelmaker, Haidu says they were at the top of the list for federal support.
We do have other steel companies in Canada. They're not Canadian owned. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if we don't have Canadian-owned steel companies, then we are vulnerable to the whims of other countries, other markets, and we can't have that.
Neither Haidu nor Garcia would speak to the terms of the loan, but a government fact sheet on the large enterprise tariff loan outlines that 75% of the loan will need to be paid back in 7 years. Aside from simply staying afloat, the loan allows Algoma Steel to change operations in relation to market needs.
Right now, we don't have enough demand for our coil business, so we're going to be reducing some of that production going forward, and we have to understand, what do we diversify to? Is it going to be beams? Is it going to be rail? Other forms of steel? And that's the work we're doing now.
Garcia says Algoma Steel has not secured any new contracts in recent months, but has had discussions with companies in both Canada and Europe. Once the electric arc furnace is producing low-carbon steel, he expects it will lead to more contract talks across the globe. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
And the United Steelworkers Union weighed in on the announcement, saying in part, this support matters to our members and their families and protects jobs in the short term in Sault Ste. Marie. Workers and the public deserve transparency about the terms of this deal. These are public dollars, and the terms and conditions must be made public, not left behind closed doors, end quote. 39 full and part-time Timmins transit workers have rejected a tentative agreement reached Friday and are now on strike. The city's chief administrative officer says officials with QP Local 1544 have not let him know when the two sides can return to the bargaining table. However, Dave Landers says the strike is affecting hundreds of students traveling to and from college, people going to work, and individuals who have medical appointments.
We think that we offered a fair contract. We had offered adjustments to wages right off the start, and then an economic increase on top of that. So, I mean, in year one, a driver would have been looking at about a 7.5% salary increase, and I'm not sure how they reject that deal or how we restructure something moving forward, but we'll wait to hear from them.
And CTV reached out to QP 1544, but did not receive a response by our broadcast. For those impacted by the strike, the city says to visit timmins.ca for the latest information. An 8-year-old child was killed following an ATV collision in Plummer, Additional Township, northwest of Thessalon. Emergency crews were called Friday evening to a field along Cloudsley Road, where police say two ATVs collided. The child was ejected from the vehicle and was taken to hospital in Thessalon. Despite the child having worn a helmet, they succumbed to their injuries. There was a fatal crash this morning on Highway 101 in Porcupine, east of Timmins. Provincial police say the collision involved a car and an SUV. Police say one person was taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. The road is closed between Gervais Street north to Falcon Street in Porcupine. This stretch of road is expected to be shut down for an extended period of time. North Bay police have charged a 20-year-old man with impaired driving after two parked vehicles were struck early Saturday morning. Police say the driver lost control at a corner, leaving the road and striking two parked vehicles around 3 a.m. in the Marshall Park Drive area. The man fled the scene, but police were able to track him down. He was arrested and transported to hospital with minor injuries. Charges have been laid after a pedestrian was injured in a crash in North Bay over the weekend. Police say a pedestrian was struck by a vehicle at Algonquin and McEwen Avenues just after 10 o'clock Sunday night. According to police, both parties are known to each other. The victim had exited their car and was approaching the accused vehicle when the accused drove forward, hitting the victim. The victim was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A 21-year-old North Bay woman has since been charged with dangerous operation of a motor vehicle and assault with a weapon. New information tonight on what caused the dust to be released from the Glencore smelter in Falconbridge last week. In a release, the company says its preliminary investigation suggests about 1 cubic meter of dust was gradually released from the stack while the electrostatic precipitator, or ESP, was being cleaned as part of smelter maintenance. The dust, according to Glencore, was mainly made up of iron and silica. Public Health is also saying normal activities can resume in the community and say there is no contamination to drinking water. Officials also say to take extra precautions if harvesting fruit or vegetables from your garden. They suggest wearing gloves while gardening or harvesting and washing produce thoroughly with soap and water. A full list of recommendations can be found on the Health Unit's website. 3 technology and AI companies are receiving money from the federal government. The funding will support Circuit IQ, Wave, and the Ontario First Nations Technical Services Corporation. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
On behalf of FedNor Minister Patty Hadou, Sudbury's MP Vivian Lapointe made the announcement today.
I'm very pleased to announce a FedNor investment of close to $600,000 to support not 2, but 3 technology different initiatives.
3 northern companies received a repayable investment that they say is allowing for more technology growth.
We're just hoping that as we complete this project and launch new projects, we'll just be able to keep expanding and create job opportunities not only in Sudbury, but also in just generally in Northern Ontario.
I know directly this is going to create 6 jobs just for the development of the technology, but the service that it's going to create hundreds of jobs.
There were 3 companies that we're investing in today, and as we know that they'll end up creating really good paying jobs right here in the north in our communities.
Each business says it's filling a nationwide gap in services utilizing artificial intelligence, including streamlining medical patient forms or finding a solution to electrical mapping systems.
Sudbury is becoming a hub for technology and innovation, and we're seeing that more and more. Some of the companies that we're investing in today actually moved their operations and brought them here to Sudbury because of that hub that we're creating. So these investments are really important.
The funding lets us move as fast as possible, lets us access really great talent and compensate them so that they are happy here in Northern Ontario.
The 2 technology companies have plans for growth and product implementation over the next few years, crediting the funding from the federal government for assisting in their process. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
It's time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast, but for now, a look at the current conditions around the region. So pretty mild out there, pretty clear for the most part. We are going to see some sunshine over the next couple days, and that's reflecting in the overnight conditions. 15 degrees in Chapleau, few clouds here and there, clear skies in Sudbury, Elliott Lake, and North Bay. Your full forecast is coming up next.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Coming off a great weekend, more sunshine in our forecast. Our forecast radar really not showing any traces of precipitation that we need to be worried about, at least for a couple of days. That'll happen by the end of the week anyway. Some cloud cover, gradual clearing for tomorrow, and some nice temperatures as the weather continues. First day of National Truth and Reconciliation for tomorrow. Sudbury Nickel Belt 17 and sunshine. Pretty well sunny skies right across the northeast for tomorrow. Wednesday sunshine 18, sun and cloud Thursday 19. Friday more sunshine at 23. Here we go. Cloud cover on Saturday at 23. Then the chance of precipitation comes Sunday at 20. That chance 30% right now, but that may change. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, gradual clearing for tomorrow, but mainly sunny skies. 20 degrees your high. Sun and cloud Wednesday at 19. 21 Thursday. Sunshine Friday at 25. 22 cloud cover Saturday. And again, the chance of precipitation on Sunday 30%. Your daytime high around 21. How about Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing? Gradual clearing for tomorrow, 15, the daytime high, warming up to 18 Wednesday with the sunshine. Thursday, 21. Friday, 30% chance of showers. Roll the dice on that one. Daytime high of 24. Cloud cover Saturday at 24 as well. And Sunday, the chance of showers at 30%. High of 21, well above the normal for this time of the year, which is around 14 degrees. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, sunshine for a couple of days, 16 and 17, the daytime highs. Thursday, sun and cloud at 20. Friday, sunshine 24. More sun and cloud Saturday at 26. I like that. 23 Sunday with the chance of showers at 30%. So all in all, a nice run of sunshine for at least, well, the next 5-6 days in Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. North Bay, West Nipissing, here we go. 4 consecutive days of sunshine at 17, 19, 23, shaping up to be just a fantastic week. Saturday on the weekend, here we go, 24 sun and clouds. Sunday again, that well, bothersome 30% chance of showers. And again, so 22 your daytime high, that temperature above normal. Amanda, what are you going to do with all this sunshine? Looking like a great week, so make sure you go out and enjoy. We'll worry about the weekend a little bit later on in a few days. Back to you.
A good stretch of sunshine there. Thanks for that, Rick. New tonight, North Bay City Council voted in favor of a significant subsidy to maintain operations at the Jack Garland Airport. In a special meeting, Council authorized a financial agreement worth up to $720,000 with the North Bay Jack Garland Airport Corporation. The funding comes from the city's tax rate stabilization reserve, while the corporation works to find cost-saving measures. The report to Council cited significant financial challenges facing the airport following the pandemic and after Air Canada announced it would no longer offer flights out of the region.
It certainly hurts the airport when you have your major passenger flight disappear. But I can tell you to date, we have been a break-even operation, even with 1 flight of Air Canada a day. So we've made up for it in other areas, and we continue to look at other opportunities to generate revenue. This money that has been allocated is only on an as-need basis. It's not that the airport automatically gets $60,000 per month. It's only if they go into deficit.
The agreement takes effect next month. The newly renovated Gore Bay Airport has been in use for over a year now, but the community got to celebrate the project that was 4 years in the making over the weekend. $4.2 million in federal funding allowed management to build the facility, which features a grand piano, fatigue management center, a kitchen, boardroom, CBSA office for customs arrivals, and office for the flying club. While many airports are struggling with carriers, the Gore Bay Airport is focused on growth.
We're more, for the charter aircraft, the corporate charter aircraft from the States. We are a port of entry, so that allows us to have U.S. flights arrive here and clear customs right at the airport. We're also a certified aerodrome, and that's really important in terms of how we operate the airport and the standards that we have to comply to. And this upgrade has really opened the doors for us for our future. It was our airport, or our terminal building before was getting rather tired and wore out. So we have a fresh new start, and the future is looking very bright for us.
Koa says he's been at the airport for 30 years and it would average 2,000 takeoffs and landings a year. He says the airport is now realizing 4,000 to 5,000. Colwell expects that to increase over the years. Tomorrow marks the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Canadians will recognize the long-lasting, multi-generational effects of the residential school system. Ahead of the symbolic day, the City of North Bay raised the Every Child Matters flag. Details from CTV's Eric Tashner.
A gentle breeze blows the Every Child Matters flag, so the words are visible for all to see.
There are still in Canada over 80,000 survivors of residential schools.
The city raised the flag in front of a crowd of about 50 wearing orange shirts, reflecting on the lessons, how to heal and move forward. Morris Switzer spoke about his grandfather's escape from an industrial training school, part of the residential school system.
My grandparents eventually had about 72 grandchildren, and including me, and we don't know if that would have been the case if he hadn't run away.
Switzer is challenging everyone to learn about the 94 calls to action that came from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report, which acknowledged the full horrifying residential school history and aims to create systems to prevent these abuses from ever happening again.
We all want Canada to be better, and the best way, there's an old saying in strategic planning that unless you know where you come from, you can never really know where you're going.
The latest census from 4 years ago finds a little over 10% of North Bay's population identifies as Indigenous. So the city started mandatory Indigenous learning for its staff members.
We feel that it's important that all of our staff are aware because that's the only way that healing happens.
The North Bay Indigenous Friendship Centre will be holding a walk to the waterfront tomorrow morning, followed by a short ceremony.
Take time to reflect on, how lucky we are as Canadians to share the land.
There are sad chapters in history, but how Indigenous peoples have rebounded.
And while tomorrow will bring some sadness and pain for some, there's also hope for a brighter future. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
A Juno-nominated musician from Northern Ontario is part of a program designed to bring Indigenous music and storytelling to classrooms across Canada. The song is called Kayash, a Cree word for before. It was born on the lands of Attawapiskat First Nation, where roots rocker Adrian Sutherland calls home.
It's tradition to honor our ancestors and the people that came before us, not only the people that came before us, but the people that are here today and are going to follow in our footsteps as well.
Sutherland's song will be featured in a curriculum-based program called Ancestors Voices, an initiative created by the Coalition of Music Education in Canada. The free resource showcases Indigenous voices year-round in honor of National Day for Truth and Reconciliation.
We're, so happy to spotlight, Adrian's music and Indigenous voices. And of course, the program is all, Adrian's words, and then an Indigenous music educator does the learning guide.
Now in its second year, Sinclair says the program saw a great response last year.
We had 83,000 students registered to access the materials. So we were absolutely blown away by the response. Our goal was 10,000 students, so that was about close to 500 schools that had signed up.
As Kayash reaches classrooms nationwide, Sutherland says it's not just a lesson in music, but a vital step in preserving the Cree language.
It's also important for me as a language speaker to help do my part in protecting the language, and hopefully, these songs will live on, and people can go back and listen and learn.
To ensure Indigenous stories and spirit resonate with a new generation. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. Striking it big. Some lottery winners in our region next. With the help of some northern talent, a big circus event is coming to Sudbury. Cirque d'Hiver is coming to the Caruso Club November 13th, entertaining guests with dance, acrobatics, suspended performances, and more.
Over the last several months, we've put this event together. I believe there's 11 performers, and it's going to be quite an exciting evening with the winter theme, Cirque d'Hiver. So like Cirque du Soleil, but a winter theme.
I'll be performing my circus shenanigans. I've been performing for 15 plus years now, so I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve, if you will.
The proceeds will go towards the new location for the Art Gallery of Sudbury, which they hope to move into by the end of 2026. The 11th annual winter clothing drive is about to get underway in Sudbury. Cooper Equipment and Our Children, Our Future collect winter coats, snowsuits, boots, and more for families in need. Over 150,000 winter clothing items have been collected and distributed over the years of the campaign. This year's collection starts October 18th. And finally for us tonight, a St. Charles couple is set to retire, they say, after winning Sudbury's Health Sciences North 50-50 lottery. Nancy Trottier and her husband Frank have been supporting the HSN Foundation for years. The couple won a little more than $440,000, which they say they'll use to help their kids, but also to kick back and spend some time together, with Frank announcing his retirement when they picked up their check. The couple says they will continue to support the hospital and its fundraiser. Congratulations. And that takes us to the end of our newscast this Monday night. Thanks for watching. A reminder, there will be no show tomorrow as we pause to reflect and honor National Truth and Reconciliation Day. Good night.